Throwing the 3 kilo. Thompson from Western Australia enters the circle. So this event was won by Taylor Larson back in 2019 with a throw of 12.58. We've got a couple of throwers in the field that have thrown further than that this season, so the standard is pretty high. It's under 14 women's shot put. And then you look at the meet record, 15.18. That's
it's a lofty throw.
Oh, it's big, isn't it?
But we've seen what that circle could produce out there. Some huge throws from the men's under 16 age group. Massive last 100 metres there from the Victorian, Marcus LaFontaine-Pollard.
Yeah, he didn't really feature too much in the first 200 metres. It was Van Balen was out in front. Sullivan was there as well. And then on the inside, Gordon, Rossetti and Kelly were all fighting on from New South Wales. But LaFontaine-Pollard just snuck straight through, said, thanks guys, I'll take the win here. I'll get my automatic spot through to the final. He does look strong. Another bit of a blast from the past in that under 16 men's 400 meet record set in 2006 by Kieran King.
Oh,
time of 48.42. He was a talent.
He was a talent.
He was a serious talent. And I went on to try his hand at the AFL. Gave up athletics, unfortunately. I wonder what could he have achieved if he had stayed in the sport.
I feel like even just a year later, he was rolling 47s like they were nothing. And then he's like, nah, that'll do. Oh, okay. You can't make someone want to do athletics. But we do try to make it as enjoyable as possible for everyone involved. There's a big put there from the Queenslander. Up over near that 14-metre mark. So that's what Rileyjay Henry-Purcell. Might still be in their warm-ups if they haven't put anything up on the scoreboard yet. No, they're marking it, so just given the foul. So about 6 or 7 minutes away from the heats of the under 16 women. And then we go into the men's and women's under 20 400 metres. Really looking forward to that one. Got a few athletes qualified and a few athletes looking for qualifiers. We go straight into the 100 finals. One of the athletes we won't see Ellie Beer in the under 20 400. She'll be looking to try and get herself on the open Tokyo Olympic team. And with so many qualifiers under her belt, she has the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fastest qualifiers. 2 of them under 50, no, 3 of them under 53 seconds. The qualifier 54.37. And the way she ran at the Queensland Track Classic, really putting it to Aboya in that race. I think it was just the experience. It's funny to say that Aboya, the more experienced athlete in terms of just life experiences, but she's the elder statesman in that little battle. Was just, you know, worked a little bit less into that headwind down the back straight where Beer just went out, like Free, her last name.
Yep. Yeah, she's really starting to come on now, and I just have this feeling that we're going to see another little explosion from Beer.
Oh, I think we're ready.
And she's going to drop another good chunk of time.
Yeah. And look, like I was saying earlier, SOPAC, a great venue for 400s.
Seen some fast times over the years, so hopefully the conditions hold through till the opens arrive. And we can see some of those quality performances. 'Cause as much as we're here looking at some of these under 20 qualifiers, we want to see some open qualifiers for the Olympics.
Oh,
that would be fantastic.
And these are the hardest Olympic qualifiers in history. There's, even you go back to, if we think of the 100 metres, that's back when we had A's and B's back in the early 2000s. 2004, the B qualifier was 10.24. Now, there's only one, and it's 10.05. They might actually, no, it was 10.24, I think. Might have been 10.28. Even then, look, crazy. Even Rio, when it was 10.16, was hard.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know what? It's too easy, actually. Let's go 10.05.
Really sort of plays to the state of athletics around the world and the quality of athletes that are presently out there on the tracks. As we see Ava Rose Masic. So she's come in here with a seed of 11.19. So one of the premier throwers in this field. What she got here in this first round? Oh, that looks like it's over 12. Or thereabouts. So that's probably going to improve on the 11.19 that she came in with. There you go, 12 on the dot. 12.00 there for Ava Rose Masic. And she puts herself in a great position here in this under 14 women's shot put.
It might be 1 centimetre, but how much better is it than 11.99?
Oh, hugely better.
It's so much better.
And it's the opposite way for track.
Yeah, you don't want to run 12 flat. You want to run 11.99.
Exactly. As we
And
see,
that's significantly better.
Capsalis, another 11-metre thrower. Unfortunately, just getting it outside the sector. She'll have a couple more throws prior to the final. It's Lauren Kelly from Western Australia. Oh, another good throw, and that's definitely going to surpass her seed coming into it, 10.75.
Oh,
that's going to be high 11s. She was pretty happy with that. 11.90.
ooh.
So smashed her seed performance. So
Stepping up.
very likely a personal best there for Lauren Kelly. As we shift to Tayla Moore, another one of our plus 10-metre throwers in this field, 10.85 seed. And that might just be a bit short of that. Might just sneak over the 10 or thereabouts. 10.12 on that. That the heats are as even as possible, making sure that all the best aren't in the one heat, because that's the last thing you want when there's automatic spots on the line and there's limited ones on offer.
Great control to stay in the circle there. Really let that one rip.
So Zana Palace,
The second heat of the under 16
New South Wales.
400 metres. A reminder,
So 10:37 there for Crowley. Just a little shy of what she's capable of.
Final heat of the under 16 girls 400 metres. Competitors now behind the blocks. Top two in each heat. The next two best times to qualify for the Australian final. And your competitors are listed now on the scoreboard.
Big put there from...
For automatic qualifiers, Rogers will have to wait on time. Third place. Very close between second and third there. That'll wrap up the three heats in the under 16 ladies 400.
Ladies and gentlemen, getting underway is the women's throw for the under 15 age group. 12 competitors representing Queensland will be Sophia Tagg, New South Wales, Isabella Detonation, the ACT, Tiffany Johnson from New South Wales, Molly Blackman from Queensland, Chanel Tagg from New South Wales, Brooke Williams from Queensland, Hayley Condon from New South Wales, Jessica Johnson also from New South Wales, Salote Wolfgramm from New South Wales, Nylah Goble-Lote, Tasmania, Neil Pinnell. Rounding out the field from New South Wales, Matilda Saunders.
One zero zero three. One 1-4-0. 1-1-4-0. Okay, Taylor to complete round two.
So Tayla Moore into the circle to round out this second round. The under 14 women's shot put. What's Moore got? Looks like it might be close to that 10-metre mark. So she's come in with a seed of 10.85. So she's capable, attention to everything going around you. The last thing you want is someone to come over the top and take away one of those automatic spots from you. But Reese has done it to perfection. 48.11, Goshnik in second. So, the thing with this event though is there's no semi-finals, it's just heats, and we do have 4 heats in this under 20 men's, which is amazing to see. It's very rare you see these size fields, especially in the under 20s. So athletics within Australia is flourishing, and it's good to see. But what that does do, it means that you have to win your heat in order to be automatically through. There is only one automatic spot, and then it's the next 4 fastest. So the progressions are fairly ruthless. It means you can't wait around, you can't make any mistakes. And Holder's done that well. So we'll see him in the final, and we'll have to wait for Goshnik and the other times qualifiers to see if they can get themselves through as well.
Only 8. Only taking 8 through. There's been some times earlier where they've taken 10 through. You can take 9, but you get to the point where, you know, sometimes there's a tie. It's always good to have a spare lane up your sleeve. You don't want to see a coin toss.
No, even the progressions in the hundreds, it was only 8 as well.
There was some that were taking 10, some of the hundreds. Yeah. We will see some 10-lane 100-metre finals later on.
Next event on the track is the second heat of the under-20 men's 400 metres. First place automatically qualifying the next 4 fastest times across the 4 heats.
It's a great throw. 13:42, she's one of the best athletes coming into this time spots, and Bolt should be pretty good for that spot. As we look at it, looks like Grabowski's actually dipped to Bolton on the line, so Bolton's gone back to third. So wouldn't that be something? But that's a lesson to all those athletes out there. Sometimes you can't mess about in heats. Sometimes you need to make sure you're on your A game. And hopefully Bolton makes his way through to the final. He can make amends, because it would be great to see him out there. We want to see what he can do. He's been shining on the Australian stage this season.
1-0-0-4.
So just looking at the results from the first heat, Bolton is sitting in second, so he still does have another couple of spots up his sleeve. But let's take a moment to talk about Creek. What a run. The Tasmanian came from nowhere. Bolton went past him on the stagger. He didn't panic. He didn't worry. He's come through, he's taken that automatic spot, and he's got himself in a Premier lane for the final. As we go back to the shot put. Another big throw here. This 14 women's shot put.
1-2-3-0.
Next event on the track is the
So 12:30 for Ah Toon.
400 metres. First across the line.
That's not far off her personal best of 12:44.
Across the 4 heats. Competitors are listed.
So she's in some form in this competition. As we go to Peters. She's gone 10.79 so far. What she got here in this third round.
Just started dropping 46s. He came through with a 46.6 and a 46.44 when against coming third behind Solomon and Beck. He's had a bit of, you know, obviously when everyone went shut down, it changes. When you're finishing school, you go to uni, everything's going on at once. But you know, it's great to see Reese out there. We see the other qualified athlete in this final heat, Josh Atkinson, who, you know, you can throw back to 2019 Australian Championships. He's out there setting meet records, running brilliant times. We saw him pace at the Queensland Track Classic. He paced Peter Bowl around. He also ran the 400 there just beforehand as well. The only one we're missing Tyson Bonney, who ran the qualifier, and he hasn't, I think he's only run 1 400 since. He did the 100 earlier. So, look, a big shout there in our shot put.
That was Capsalis from New South Wales, just trying to get.
Queensland ran third, 57.32. So now displayed on the scoreboard, we have the competitors in the B final, the under 20 men's 400 metres, which will be conducted at 2:50 p.m. tomorrow. That's the B final in the under 20 men's 400 metres, to be held at 2:50 p.m. tomorrow. The competitors in that race are now displayed on the scoreboard.
One, 1-1-9-2. 1-1-9-2.
Competitors in the under 20 men's 400 metres final are displayed on the scoreboard.
Well, there we go on the scoreboard for those who aren't in the stadium. We were talking about the lane draw, and Jack Bolton in lane 3, right inside Reese Holder.
He got it.
Wow, well. He needs to go buy a lottery ticket.
Yep, and then to Atkinson outside Holder.
Yeah.
She was actually away with us on a trip to Japan to try and get the women qualified and did a fantastic job. Split 53 in that event, and has really sort of taken off from there. Really knows how to perform when the pressure's on.